Hello. Today we're going to read Chapter 8 of Jasmine Toguchi, Mochi Queen. And I thought that today, instead of staring at my lovely face while I read to you, that I could play with the DocuCam and get it set up so that you guys can read along with me. And I also have some paper out and a pen so that I can document my own thinking. And maybe give you guys some new ideas or just see, maybe even just, notice different ways to document our thinking. And I'd like to see how you guys are documenting your thinking as well. So let's get started. Chapter 8, The Big Question. Auntie Vicky, Uncle Joe, cousins Anna and the twins, Cassie and Leo walked in. Cassie ran to me the minute she saw me. Her smile made my heart happy again. Uncle Ray, Auntie Beth, and my cousins Jason and Frankie followed. So for me, I know that as a reader, I have trouble with names sometimes. And so for me, one of the things I always usually do when I'm reading a book is I track my characters. So I'm going to start by just writing some of the names. I have Auntie Vicky and Uncle Joe. And it looks like they have cousins. They have kids. Anna and the twins. Cassie and Leo. And these two are twins. And it sounds like Cassie and her have a really good relationship. She said, she makes my heart happy. So I'm going to put a little heart and a little smiley next to Cassie. And then Uncle Ray. And Auntie Beth. And their cousins Jason and Frankie. Okay. So I'm just going to leave my little map there. I'm trying to figure out how to get this a little more focused. Okay. And let's keep reading. All around me, uncles and aunties and cousins greeted one another. The chattering sounded like 100 hummingbirds buzzing in the room. Aunties carried in rice cookers and grocery bags. Uncles slapped one another on their backs and talked about football scores. The 4-year-old twins dragged their backpacks over to me. The bags were so full they looked like they were about to explode. Anna ruffled my hair as she walked past. Jason and Frankie ran to find Eddie. Ooh, I'm going to add mean cousin Eddie. And I'm just putting him down here because I haven't added his parents yet. And I could go back and do that, but for now I just want to keep reading. Okay. My heart felt as full as the room. I loved being surrounded by family. I helped Cassie and Leo unpack stuffed animals and cars and books and crayons. The aunties bustled into the kitchen. By the time the backpacks were empty, so was the living room. I was alone with Cassie and Leo. Last year, it was me and Sophie together. We built a fort out of the couch cushions. We threw stuffed animals at Eddie anytime we walked by. That was fun. Now everyone else was having fun, preparing for Mochisuki without me. Play with us, Cassie said as she flopped onto my lap. She was getting heavy. I had an idea. Cassie had to be heavier than the mochi hammer. I stood up and wrapped my arms around her. I lifted her off the floor and put her down again. She clapped her hands. Leo wanted to turn too. I lifted him up and put him down. Again! Cassie lifted her arms. I have a connection here, so I'm just going to make a little connection box. So typically for me, I'm the one that's always playing with the cousins and the babies because you guys know I love little kids. And so sometimes at the lake house, I love to kayak. And so I offer to give the nieces and nephews kayaking rides down the canal. And it sounds like she's playing this game that she's going to have to do over and over and over with these two twins. And with the kayak rides, it's kind of the same. And so even by the end, when I'm really, really, really tired, the cousins are always like, one more time. And so sometimes I end up getting really, really tired. So I think that she's going to be pretty exhausted after this. No, Leo said. My turn. They pressed against me. I picked Cassie up again. Then I gave Leo another turn, pretending they were mochi hammers. They giggled. I did too. Now I knew for sure I could lift the mochi hammer. I was ready. The back door opened. My dad's laughter boomed through the house. I got up and met him in the hallway. Hi, Dad, I said. My heart was beating so hard I thought he might be able to hear it. My Jasmine! Dad flashed me a big smile. How goes the babysitting? I caught my bottom lip with my teeth. Dad looked like he was in a hurry, but when he saw my face, he stopped. What's wrong? I'm afraid to ask you something. Dad knelt down. You should never be afraid to talk to me, Jasmine. I want to help with Mochisuki this year. Dad waited for me to go on. I know the rules say I have to wait until I'm 10, but I think I'm ready. Dad nodded slowly. But, I said, before he told me to talk to Mom, I don't want to make mochi with Oba-chan, Mom, and the aunties. Dad's lips made a funny sideways move, almost like he was trying not to smile. No? He asked. What do you want to do? I want to pound mochi with you, Dad, I said quickly, so he couldn't tell me no right away. I've been using my arm muscles a lot to practice, and I know I can lift the hammer. Sophie can be Mom's helper, and I can be yours. Except I didn't want to help him. I wanted to do it on my own. But sometimes with parents, you have to make them feel important. Dad nodded. Let me think about it, okay? I'll let you know. I ran back to Cassie and Leo, full of hope. That is the end of chapter 8. So for me, my main thinking was just kind of drawing the new characters today that entered in, noting that she has kind of this special relationship with Cassie and is a little bit closer with Cassie. And right now she's playing with the twins, so I'll kind of remember that from this connection, that event. And then I just want to note down a little bit about Jasmine Toguchi. So I think down here where I have some space so I can come back to it, I'm going to start a Jasmine Toguchi character map. And one thing that I really notice about Jasmine Toguchi, which is why I like this book a lot, is that she wants to do things her own way. And I call that she wants to march to the beat of her own drum. And for me, this is a character trait about Jasmine Toguchi that I can really connect with. Because especially, you guys know me, especially when people say that I can't do something, it makes me want to do it more, right? I don't like being told I can't do something. So I'm going to write down there, doesn't like to be told she can't do something. And I don't think anyone really likes to be told that they can't do something, but I think that this for her is a motivator. Some people, when they're told they can't do something, maybe it kind of shuts them down. And some people, it kind of motivates them to want to do it more, right? So I'm going to write down that for her because I think that that's a motivator for her. And I'm also going to write down here that she doesn't understand why she can't pound mochi. She doesn't understand why she can't pound mochi. And I think especially with this one, right? If the only reason is that she's a girl and there's not really another good reason, I think that she just doesn't understand why. Is it just because she's a girl? And she's kind of wondering too, like, this is a really long tradition and I understand that, but why is the tradition like that? And can we change it, right? So I'm really interested. I'm going to go ahead and make a prediction that I think that Jasmine Toguchi is going to be able to pound the mochi instead of doing all the work with her mom and grandma and aunts. And so I'm just going to make a little note over here that she will get to pound the mochi. Jasmine will get to pound the mochi. And I don't know, maybe this year, maybe another year, we'll see. So you can see my thinking is kind of all over the place. And that's just kind of how I'd like to document my thinking as a reader. You guys can document your thinking however you want. I know, like, if you're Miss Anna, you're probably going to have a really nice, neat little chart. It's probably going to be color-coded and amazing and way better than I could ever create. But this is okay, too. So however you guys want to document your thinking, mine ended up being mostly words today. Yours might look like pictures. So try some new things out this week, and I'd love to see what you guys are documenting while you're reading, and I will continue to show you mine as well. So have a good day, and I hope you like the chapter.